11 Alive News at 6 p.m. starts now.
And we are coming on tonight with breaking news: an active crime scene in southeast Atlanta where two people were reported to have been shot. This was along Jonesboro Road southeast. That is near the intersection with Hutchins Road. 11 Alive's Latasha Givens has more on what we know at 6 o'clock.
Where there are a lot of questions about this shooting, but we can tell you it happened at the gas station behind me. Police have since removed the crime scene tape that was up for hours. This is what we know so far. Police scanner traffic picked up around 2 p.m. APD says a man and a woman were both shot at the gas station. There was a heavy police presence while detectives collected evidence. Now, as we were gathering information, there was a commotion across the street at the Food Mart. We started recording as officers approached a woman and placed her in handcuffs, then walked her across the street. We talked to a group of people who say they are related to the man who was shot, and they tell us he is expected to be okay. Police haven't given a condition for the man or the woman who were shot. Now, less than 10 minutes later, we watched as police released that same woman they placed in handcuffs, then walked her down the street. Now, police haven't given us any details as to what happened leading up to that shooting, but we'll give you more details as they become available. And Southeast Atlanta, I'm Latasha Givens, 11 Alive News.
I said my goodbyes to my daughter yesterday. And I told her, I promised her when I laid there with Royal that we will work with whoever we have to, and all people that's involved will be held accountable.
The father of Amani Roberson at a news conference this morning reacting to the latest news surrounding his daughter's death. The mother of four had been missing for nearly 3 weeks. Her family says the last time they heard from her was on July 16th. Police eventually found Roberson's car in South Fulton County. The car was burned from the inside out along Camp Creek Parkway. Today, authorities announced the arrest of Amani's husband, Donnell Anderson. He was arrested and charged in connection with her death. With more on the case, 11 Alive's Molly Oak has more from Rockdale County.
The unknown now answered.
Today is a very difficult day.
Amani Roberson's mom and dad,
For our family, especially the mother and the father.
now know what happened to their daughter.
When I couldn't reach Imani almost 3 weeks ago, I knew something was wrong. Late last night, my worst fears were confirmed, and our family is devastated.
Amani's mom, Clarine Endahar White, knew something wasn't right when she didn't hear from her daughter. Amani and her 4 kids went to her mom's for dinner in Conyers on July 16th. Her 2 oldest stayed with Clarine, while Amani took her 3-year-old and 1-month-old home with her. But when Clarine didn't hear from her daughter the next day, she knew she had to call for help. That's when Rockdale County Sheriff's Office started investigating.
And it was clear that foul play was evident in the disappearance of Amani.
On July 19th, 3 days after she was last seen, the Sheriff's Office found Amani's car, torched, in South Fulton County. Yesterday, they found Amani's body, just a couple miles from her car. And they found the suspect here at City Central Apartments in Atlanta. The Sheriff's Office arrested and charged Amani's husband, Donnell Anderson, with multiple charges, including felony murder, malice murder, and aggravated assault.
And I can assure you that another arrest will be made.
Imani's family knows the pain isn't over.
We thank you for your continued prayers and support as we work to care for Imani's beautiful boys without a mother.
Their daughter is gone.
So I said my goodbyes to my daughter yesterday. And I told her, I promised her when I laid there with Royal that we will work with whoever we have to, and all people that's involved will be held accountable.
Hand in hand, the family tearfully thanked law enforcement for helping them get answers.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not the news that we wanted, but I'm happy that we can hold them accountable.
Knowing now what they most feared. In Rockdale County, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
The latest information on this awful story can be found on 11alive.com. Right now, a sunny early evening across North Georgia. It is hot, but you expect that to be the case here in early August. If it weren't, you would be wondering why. We may have to dodge a shower or two later tonight. We toss it to meteorologist Nicole Hartford with more on the expectation of our weather.
And those rain chances tonight remain very limited. In fact, what we're seeing across much of North Georgia is just a lot of sunshine. It is hot out there. Like you said, we're at 94 degrees currently in Atlanta. When you factor in humidity, it actually feels like 98 degrees. We do have a couple clouds around to give us perhaps a little bit of shade from that unrelenting sun. But for most, we're talking low 90s. We're at 92 right now in Marietta, 90 in Canton, at 89 in Carrollton, and then 91 right now in Gainesville. Our radar is still very quiet. We had a couple spotty showers try to pop up right along the Alabama-Georgia border, but most of those have already fizzled out. They didn't leave much more than just a couple raindrops. And that will be the case, I think, through the next few hours. We have this northerly flow going where some rainfall is developing up into portions of Tennessee, but at this point it looks unlikely that much of that makes it into our area. Don't be surprised if you come across a couple raindrops tonight, but for most of us, that's not going to be the case. It will change into the end of the weekend, though. Not only are we upping our rain chances for tomorrow, we're also adding in a low-end risk for severe weather across North Georgia. Showers and storms start to look a little bit more likely into Sunday and Monday. Unfortunately, no, it doesn't really bring much relief from the heat, but I'll have all the details coming up.
All new at 6, a Gwinnett County police officer finding himself tonight under arrest, charged with child molestation. This case involves Patrick Ventura, who was hired by the department in October of 2020. An investigation by Gwinnett County police alleging that Ventura became involved with a girl under the age of 16. Along with child molestation, Ventura was charged with sexual battery against a child and violating his oath of office. He currently is being kept at the Gwinnett County Jail. Several people injured today after a Greyhound bus blew a tire, flipped over while traveling along I-75. This was in the southbound lanes just north of Macon. The bus, carrying about 40 people at the time. Monroe County Emergency Services says 13 people hospitalized, no one seriously injured. This crash happened around 3:15, so about 3 hours ago. And at last check, 2 lanes of southbound 75 still were blocked off as the investigation continues. Second Chances are helping survivors of a human trafficking heal in Atlanta. A new nonprofit is doing it through education. Next Stage Customs is giving scholarships to survivors of trafficking in Georgia to help people make a better life for themselves. The money helps survivors go to college and earn their degree. Founder Crystal Brown said she began the charity after her own life experience proved how valuable it was for someone to believe in her.
You can always be successful. You can always go where you want to go. You can do what you want to do. Nobody can stop you. You are the only one that can stop yourself. And I want them to know that they have our support.
She embraced me with compassion. And that's really, I think, another beautiful part of it is not everybody does that. Most people are afraid to talk to survivors because they're like, I don't know what to say to you. And I'm like, I'm human.
Faith met Crystal while she was giving a talk about her own experience surviving human trafficking. She is going to use the money to earn a degree that will help others going through the same set of circumstances. We will link to the Next Stage Customs on our website if you want to apply to volunteer or to help. Many children are now back in school, and that makes parents very happy. But some students, including in Fulton and DeKalb counties, will be returning to the classroom in the coming days. Ebenezer Baptist Church out today trying to get as many children outfitted for the new school year. While there were the backpacks to hand out, the children also had the opportunity to get a free health screening, eye exam, and free glasses so that they are set and ready to go on that first day of school. Meanwhile, over at the gathering spot, Migos rapper Quavo holding his second annual Back to School Give Back today. More than 200 families were invited to come and stay and spend some time with the rapper, who is releasing a new album later this month. There was plenty of free stuff to be had. However, the nonprofit Tender Foundation was on site to help single mothers with bill pay assistance for rent, utilities, and child care cost. 11 Alive has a lot of information for you as we begin the new school year. To find out what you need to know, There's a lot of stuff there that parents will say, I didn't know that, but they will if they go to that website. This week saw another indictment handed to the former president, Donald Trump. We will look at how this impacts the 2024 race for the White House, as well as the ongoing Fulton County investigation. Right after the break.